Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Harry Potter 75954 Hogwarts Great Hall with 10 minifigures, 878 pieces, and it retails for $100 in the United States. And this box is way bigger than the clock tower, if you thought that was a big box. Here's a good comparison. Here's the completed set. Now let's take a look at those minifigures. So the first minifigure is Harry Potter, who has black short legs, a dark brown wand, a Gryffindor torso, his younger facial expression, and his normal hairpiece. That's not the normal hairpiece that he uses for the Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince. There is some printing on the back, as well as an alternate expression. The next minifigure is Hermione Granger, who has the same outfit as Harry, but a tan wand. She also has her younger face and hair. She does have the same back printing, but an alternate expression where she looks scared. And for the last of the golden trio is Ron Weasley, who uses Luke Skywalker's hair in orange. He has his normal younger expression with the freckles, a reddish-brown wand, the same outfit as Harry and Hermione, and an alternate expression where he looks scared. Next up is Susan Bones, the Hufflepuff, and she uses the same black short legs as well as a black wand, but this time she has a Hufflepuff torso. She also has like the opposite girl face of Seamus Finnegan's face and Spooky Girl's hairpiece in orange. She also has an alternate sad expression as well as the same back printing as the trio with their Gryffindor torsos. Next up is Draco Malfoy, who is the last of the kids. He again uses black short legs and the same colored wand as Harry's. He has a more sneaky expression as his frontal expression and uses the slick hairpiece in yellow. He has the same back printing, but this time with the Slytherin marks, the same with Susan Bones except with Hufflepuff, and he has a more angry expression on the back of his face. Moving on to the adults, first up is Hagrid, and he has the child legs in brown as well as a pink umbrella. He also has a grown-up expression with like printed warts and of course his normal hairpiece. And if you don't know how his torso works, basically it's an enlarged piece with printing, and he has two arms that are held on with Technic pins, and he also has molded pockets on the side. Next up is Albus Dumbledore, who is the headmaster, but he was also Transfiguration Professor. He has a tan wand and is based off of the first two films, using a different beard piece, but still using the same hair piece. On the back there is some printing, as well as an alternate sad expression, and turning it around, I'm going to show you a better look at it with the beard. So here's Dumbledore without his half-moon spectacles. Moving on is Professor McGonagall, who has an elderly expression that I actually used from Molly Weasley in making the Weasley family as minifigures. She has a black hat since there isn't really a hairpiece that could fit her, which I agree with. She also has green robes with printing all the way around, and you can see a bit of her alternate expression just peeking out there. She also has a little golden circle there, as well as a black wand. And here's a better look at her alternate matte expression. Next up is Nearly Headless Nick, who is in Call Gray, and what is actually really cool is that he actually has two expressions, one happy and one more sad when he doesn't get to join the Headless Hunt. He also has a really nice hairpiece and a lot of old-fashioned robes. I can't really think of any use for his pieces though, except for his hair making Doc Brown from Back to the Future. And for the last of the minifigures is Professor Quirrell, who is draped in a purple turban that continues down onto the torso. There is no turban printing on the back, but there are some creases. He also has a reddish-brown wand, plain legs, and a casual expression. And then, watch out, instead of an alternate expression, he has an alternate face with Voldemort on it, but something that really confuses me. Are they all Quirrell-morts? You also get a Hedwig piece, which is the same as 2010, Scabbers the Rat, and a buildable fox, who is a pretty simple design, and I wish they made like a new specific piece, but still, it's kind of nice. Moving on to the builds of the set, first up is the boat, which is more more of two builds, I guess, but it's actually just one build. And the first half of it is just a boat piece, and then there's a little lantern with a stick coming out of a pole attached to it. Next is the Mirror of Erised, which uses a whole sticker sheet, which these little pieces up here being some of the only pieces not stickered. Stickers down here, stickers up here, and sticker up here, as well as 4 stickers making interchangeable panels, which I'll do right now to show you them. There's Professor Quirrell holding the Philosopher's Stone, as I already showed you, Ron winning the Quidditch Cup, and a bunch of other trophies. Albus Dumbledore with a pair of warm, fuzzy yellow socks. And of course, Harry James Potter with Lily and James Potter. And finally is the Basilisk, which it's a nice inclusion, but I don't think it was necessary. I think it was just a space filler for bag 1 because they needed more pieces to put in there. It uses a bunch of sections with ball joints, as well as yellow eyes on either side with a little red spot there, and fangs that go down, and a little tail over here. Finally, we get to the main section, which is the Great Hall. Starting over here, there's a little boating dock, a little area, a door over here, which is a window, and the big doors to get into the Great Hall, as well as little statuettes, and there's also a little stickered clock up here. Moving over, you can see gray railings, or silver, however you see it, and a bunch of rock detail over here. There's also a bunch of these little spikes moving over to this section, and a gray roof on hinges. And moving it up will get you a better look at that. And it also uses these little corner pieces over here. It also uses these wedges to make a triangular point at the top of the windows. There's more rock detail over here, as well as a little section of roof over here, when that has a little ski pole up top. Moving up even farther, there are 3 gray little small roof pieces, and a bay window over here with these little arches over here, and 2 little arches over here with little teeth pieces. And most of this is tan, but there are some dark orange, and very few mason bricks, surprisingly. There's also a bay window over here using a bunch of those window pieces and brown poles, and 4 little gray roofing pieces. And of course, the inside is open, but first we have to take a look at the outside of the little turret. So at the bottom of the turret, there's a little entry area and some water and rocks over here. There are a couple of windows scattered throughout, and most of it is made up of using these panel pieces and then filling in the large gaps in the middle with a window or some pole pieces of whatever the type is. Then at the top, they use these 2 hinged plates and a bunch of gray roofing pieces, but the gray hinges are just to fill in the little gaps and give it a little more texture and 3D-ness. Right now, I think it's time we take a look at the inside, and my voice just cracked right there and then, so that's obviously really fun. Starting the tour of the inside of the Great Hall, we'll start with the actual Great Hall and then move on to the turret. And the whole back is open to keep it in system with the rest of the Hogwarts sets, although this was actually the first one released. But I do like this a lot more than Dollhouse style, because Dollhouse splits it up into 2 sections. So part of a bedroom might be over here, and then the other half of the bedroom is over here. So I just hate when they do Dollhouse style. And I know hate is a strong word, but that can't accurately describe how I feel about it. Okay, maybe not that much, but still, I really don't like it as much as I love the open backside. Starting off with the Great Hall, it seems a bit empty, so I think we should put some minifigures in there. But first, we should actually review the Great Hall so we can take a good look. Over here is the Quidditch Cup, as well as 2 little teacher seats and Dumbledore's big seat, and there are also 2 glasses at the teacher's table. There are also these 2 panels up here, which are interchangeable, but right now they're at my house, Ravenclaw, and my brother's house, Hufflepuff, because I guess we both won. But moving the Great Hall's banners of Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff over, you can see that they're actually double-sided. So Hufflepuff has Gryffindor on the other side, which just fell, and Ravenclaw has Slytherin on the other side, so it's actually a double-sided sticker. There are also 4 benches representing Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin tables, but there's only one bench that can fit about 2 minifigures. And I wouldn't even call this amount of food a feast. It's more of just like a little party, because I guess the Great Hall is supposed to be full with food. But this, I guess, is very much accurately representing the Great Hall after Ron has got his grubby little hands on it. In the back, you can see a fireplace, which is actually blocking some of the windows, which isn't a great design, but I still really like the fireplace. It's a great inclusion. And then also a bunch of floating candles up here, and now it's time to put some minifigures inside of it. And that looks a lot better. Now on to the turret. Then on the lowest level of the floor is a staircase, which can actually be folded in and out magically. And the turret, the biggest problem with the turret, I mean, it's a good build, it's fine. But what I really don't like about it is that there's so much wasted potential just filling it with random objects, which is a great example of this floor, which isn't the potions classroom because that appeared in the Whomping Willow set. So I guess you could say this is just like a practice empty classroom or something, but I just feel like they could have done more with it. The second floor, or the third floor, isn't as wasted. I'd say that it's much better because there's a chest here and that contains a bunch of jewels, and this is actually supposed to represent the place where the sorting hat is stored, so that's actually a good use of parts. And finally is the fourth floor, and this has the Mirror of Erised, which I already reviewed, and there's some space up here, but that is filled up with bricks, so I don't have any problem with any area of this except for the bottom floor, the second floor of the turret, because it's just wasted space. So overall, this is a great set, and I do think that it is definitely worth $100 with all the minifigures, side builds. My only complaint would be the wasted second floor of the turret and the lack of food, but I mean, that's understandable, because I mean, they couldn't just fill it with a bunch of parts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!